So I'm going to show you how to build the Hello Purr app. And the first thing you're going to do is click on New and create a new project. I'm just going to give the title of Hello Purr and create the project. And what's going to open up is the designer. Okay, there's really kind of three windows. One is the window where you kind of show what the app's going to look like, so you can drag out what are called user interface objects. User interface being, the user of your app is the person who plays the game or uses the app, right? And user interface is how they interact with your phone. Okay, so in the designer, you'll specify that. We were just on the My Projects page. It'll list all your app projects you have. Okay. And then once you choose your project, you'll go back to the designer. There's also a third window, which is the blocks window. This is how you'll show how your app behaves. For instance, in this Hello Purr app, you're going to show that when the person clicks a button, we'll make the cat meow. Okay, so let's go back to the designer and let's start building this thing. So I'm going to grab a label, and it's just going to be very simple. I'm going to change the text of it to pet the kitty. Okay, kind of instructions for the user. And of course, we can change other properties of any of our user interface components. For our label, we can change like the font background color, right, to make it blue. Well, now we can't see it. We better make it lighter. How about light gray? So now we can see that. We could also change the text color. So right now it's black. We can make it blue. So kind of you can see your changes as you do them. Okay. So there's just the instructions. Now we're going to put a button in, and our button is, this is what we're going to click to actually play the meow sound. But I'm going to want to bring in, for this button, I'm going to want to bring in an image. So I'm going to click over on this image property, and it's going to let me upload a new file. And I can go anywhere on my computer and find a image file. So you can grab any image you want. I'm going to go grab one that I know I have called kitty.png. And it's a file name, and I got a bunch of them. I built this one a lot of times. Okay, so when I upload that, all of a sudden my button's going to show that kitty. And notice there's some text on there. We're going to get rid of the text and just make it so it's just an image button, basically. Okay, and so there's our button. So I've got some instructions. I've got my button. The third key component I need, and I'm going to get it from media, is called sound. And this is the way you play a sound. It's what's called a non-visible component. So the user's not going to see it on your phone, but this component knows how to do something. And what it knows how to do is play a sound for us. Okay, just like the image or the button had an image property, the sound component has a source property. So where are we going to get the sound from? What sound are we going to play? So I'm going to click here. I've also got a sound file, and I think it's called meow dot something. Let's see. Yeah, meow.mp3. I'm going to select this one. I'm going to bring it in. And now I've got a sound component. Okay. And he knows how to play the kitty sound. Okay, so I've got a user interface. I've got a component that knows how to play sounds. The next thing I'm going to have to do is actually build the behavior for this app. So this is kind of an app that won't do anything. The way I build the behavior is I go to the block screen. Okay, think of blocks as app behavior. Okay, and if you look here, you're going to see a bunch of kind of math, text, different kind of built-in blocks for doing behavior. But we're going to focus right now on, here's our screen, and notice screen 1, right? That's this guy. That's this guy we just built, okay? And notice we had label 1, button 1. These aren't great names. We could have renamed them. But these guys show up over here too, okay? Now for our app, we want to show that when the user clicks the button, the kitty meows. Okay, so I'm going to click on button. And notice the first kind of block here is when button1.click. This thing's called an event handler. And basically, you're going to put some blocks in here, some code, which says what should happen when the user clicks the button. Okay? And what we want to happen is we want to play a sound. So I'm going to drag out a call sound1.play block. So when the user clicks a button, play a sound. Now this is kind of generic, right? Well, remember, we already set it up so when sound plays, it plays our meow sound. Okay, so let's try this out. Now I've already connected to an emulator, so I've got this app up and running. But to connect, you go to the block screen, and you can either be connected to your phone or to the emulator. But from this block screen, you say connect to, and right now it's connected, but so I could disconnect it and then reconnect to that emulator. Okay, but once you have it running, you can try your app at any time. So if I click on this kitty, I should hear it meow. Okay, cool. So on your phone, of course, you'll touch it as opposed to use your mouse to click it. So we've now got, maybe one of the dumbest apps ever thought of, but an app that's got some behavior, right? It's got an event handler that kind of reacts to what the user does, and it plays some media. Okay, so you got your first app.